guys, I'm Tammy. Welcome to my channel. I woke up this morning to a notification that I've been tagged in a video by Carmen Scentrix. She had some interview style questions that she asked herself and she wanted to hear from us. She tagged quite a few people in this video and I'm very happy that she tagged me. Thank you. Hi Carmen. So as I was watching her video, I had my notebook and I was writing down the questions and I was writing down my answers to the questions. And I even had to think about some of them, and later that morning I was still writing some of my answers. I felt like I was doing homework, but it was the most fun homework that I've ever done. So I was having the time of my life. I just love talking about perfume and I'm so glad that she tagged me in this video. Please go watch her channel. She is the most real, down to earth, she's an open book. She just tells it like it is and I absolutely love her channel. So go check her out. So the first question she asked is, how did you get into perfume YouTube? And for me, my gateway into perfume in every step of the way, whether it was watching YouTube or whether it was actually what I started purchasing, it was always makeup first. I was obsessed with makeup for years. I purchased so much makeup. That's how I became Sephora VIB. I used to watch all the makeup YouTubers, and Kathleen Lights, as Carmen had mentioned, would talk about perfume. And I always watched Stephanie Letta from SMLXO, and now she even has her own perfume, which I would love to be able to smell that someday. It sounds amazing. But one of my favorite makeup YouTubers was Samantha Ravndal, and she did a video one time, and I actually looked it up. It was August 23rd, 2018, and she was talking about Vanille Insensé by Atelier Cologne. And the way she described it, she said it was the sexiest perfume she'd ever smelled in her life. And she said, first of all, God is a woman. Secondly, I am God. And third, I want to have sex with myself because the scent is just so beautiful. So I ended up, the next time I was in Sephora, I ended up purchasing the Atelier Cologne Discovery Set because I just had to smell this Vanille Insensé. And it did not make me want to have sex with myself, but what it did make me want to do is go on a camping trip with my fam. It smelled like roasting marshmallows on a campfire. It smelled like when you come back inside after you've been out to the campfire and your clothes reek of campfire smoke. That's all I could smell. And a sickly sweet marshmallow that was stuck all over your clothes and running down your hands. I thought it was terrible. No offense to anyone who loves that scent. So that just made me so curious to get into perfumes because I'm like, how can she love it so much and I don't like it at all? This is amazing. I was just fascinated. So that's kind of where my perfume YouTube journey began, was just realizing how differently perfumes smell to different people and just being fascinated by that and wanting to learn more and smell things for myself. Second question she asked was, who was the first person you started watching on perfume YouTube? Well, once I realized that perfume videos were actually a thing on YouTube, my first reaction was how do you have a perfume video? You can't smell things, so how in the world, what do you say? I couldn't even understand how you would even make a perfume video, and here I am making perfume videos. But back then, the first person I really remember watching is Jeremy Fragrance. I have to be honest. And then I got into the perfume guy. He was so knowledgeable and I was just amazed how anyone could know that much about perfume. And then it just kind of evolved from there. I used to watch a lot of Paulina Shar, and she was just the sweetest sweetheart. And so yeah, I guess that was kind of the very first people that I started watching on YouTube. And then slowly, over time, I kind of find my tribe of, like Carmen mentioned, small creators and smaller YouTube channels. And yeah, so that answers that question. The next question was, who influences you the most? Well, you know, my perfume besties, like Veronica from Veronica Says, Chris from Perfume Nest, and I have a few different perfume besties. I want to smell whatever they're smelling. If they're talking about it, I want to experience it. I want to smell what they're smelling so I can chat about it. I just want to talk about perfume. But I would say when it comes to who's influenced me probably to make the most purchases, I would say Sarah Mays, because she is so passionate about the perfumes she loves. She describes them she just raves and raves about them, and she just loves them so much that it just really influences you. It makes you want to smell them yourself. And another one is Shauna J. I absolutely love her channel, and we have kind of similar tastes, so I could really kind of trust her recommendations, and she really influenced me to buy a few perfumes. Oh, also 50 Cents UK, that's Ange. Yeah, she's also like so passionate about describing perfumes, and she's famous for like just spraying herself right down, soaking everything with the perfume, and I just want to buy whatever she's talking about because it sounds so good. Okay, question number 4, who has the most similar taste to you? And I would say hands down, no question, Amanda from Amanda Loves Perfumes. Now, she's not uploading lately. I'm not sure if she's going to be making any more videos, but you can go watch all her old videos. If you do, you're going to see pretty much that's my taste in perfume. She loves like musky scents and molecular scents and skin scents and like clean, fresh, soapy scents, and like everything that she talks about is stuff that I love. Like hands down, Amanda Loves Perfumes, same taste as me, you know, 80%. And after that, Shauna J, because she loves the fresh, clean, soapy perfumes, and she also she does like vanillas that are more on the gourmand side, that might be a little sweeter than what I'd like. And you know, my tastes are growing and changing all the time, so who knows what I'm gonna like a month from now. Question number 5. So next she asked, when did you start wearing perfume? And for me, I started exploring perfumes a little bit 2018, 2019, but then when COVID hit, that just became my little hobby, and my thing I did was research perfumes, buy perfume samples, sniff, blind buy. And so I didn't really start wearing perfumes like regularly until probably 2020, about 3 years ago. But then she asked, what perfume did you wear growing up? So it's not like I never ever wore a perfume until I got into perfume in 2020. But back then, I was like Carmen. I had Sunflowers by Elizabeth Arden. I had Exclamation by Coty. I actually purchased that again like a couple years ago just to smell it. It was $15. And I just was like, I forget what this smells like. I really want to smell it again. My sister had Malibu Musk. I remember talking to scentsiblings.ca. I remember we talked about that because she had also smelled that before. And I don't feel like that was a very common one. But my sister also had like Alfred Sung, and she had Calvin Klein Eternity, I think. And my sister had more perfumes than me, actually, even though she's younger than me. But I had forgotten all about one that I had, I think even before those. It was called Electric Youth. And I saw that in an 80s throwback video on TikTok, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember Electric Youth. But through my like teens and 20s and 30s even, I was just Body Shop White Musk. That was me. I was Body Shop White Musk, and I didn't wear it all the time, but when I wore perfume, that's pretty much all I wore. And just like Carmen, I love White Musk. Just kidding. Carmen does not like White Musk, but if I ever was gonna hang out with her, I wouldn't wear it then. But anyways, Body Shop White Musk, that was me. That was me in a bottle, literally. But the other one that I did wear quite a bit, and it really got me into unisex fragrances, with CKB. I still think that is an absolutely fantastic perfume. I still wear it. I ask my husband to wear it. I've got clones of it. I've got like dupes, like there's one called Gender to Be You, which actually is just as good and longer lasting. If you can see, you can find that on Amazon. It's seriously good. So that, in a nutshell, really there aren't any other perfumes that I ever tried or wore. That's it. Not very experienced in that area till now. So she asked, do you wear perfumes to bed, and what kinds? The answer is yes. I love to wear perfumes to bed, and the kinds that I wear are really like musky, powdery, soapy, clean, comforting, kind of lighter perfumes. I don't wear anything beast mode or anything too sweet. I will sometimes wear like a cozy, powdery vanilla or something a little bit sweet, but I really don't like to wear anything too overwhelming to bed because it actually like distracts me and like keeps me awake through the night. But one of my favorite things is to, like last night I wore Violet Eyes by Elizabeth Taylor to bed. And it is like a purple, cozy, comforting, oh my gosh, it's musky, it's so pretty. But the thing is, like, you wake up in the morning and you smell that pretty, pretty dry down that woody, musky. Oh, it just is, it's a wonderful thing to wake up to. So I do love wearing perfumes to bed. I'll take you on a little perfume tour of my bedtime / gym tray, because the same perfumes that I wear to bed, I like to wear to the gym. Nothing too overwhelming, nothing cloying. I like it to be, you know, fresh, clean, powdery, light, musky, airy, white, happy, you know, gentle. That's my vibe. So yeah, these are kind of my bedtime scents and my gym scents. Anything that's very fresh and soapy and clean. We have Bulgari Omnia Crystalline, this Lancome La Nuit Trésor Musk Diamant. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Wood Sage and Sea Salt, of course. Noah by Cacharel. This is the hair mist for Chance au Tendre. Yeah, I got my Apollonia, which is one of my new ones. Oh my gosh. Pure Musk by Narciso Rodriguez. Yeah, these Gucci Bamboo on my land. Yeah, these are all Glossier U. I don't have the red cap on because, you know, doesn't fit the vibe. 212 by Carolina Herrera. I've talked about that in a video. Cloud Musk, Wood Elixir, 1111. Talked about that in the same one. It's Rudy. So a lot of the ones that I talked about in my Fresh and Clean video are on this tray. Yeah, those are the ones I would wear at bedtime. Now, she asked a super hard question. If you could only keep 3 perfumes, what would they be? But she also asked us not to think too hard about it. So I actually just wrote down 3 while I was copying down what she was saying for questions. I just wrote down 3. I wrote down Crystal Noir, Wood Sage and Sea Salt, and Gucci Bamboo. So I've got my like sexy, sweet, date night Crystal Noir. I got something very fresh, Wood Sage and Sea Salt, like for the gym or for, you know, daytime. And then Gucci Bamboo is just, oh, I mean, it's so pretty. It's older, but it's like, it just keeps on climbing up my list of favorites. So those were the 3 that I picked. The worst perfume I've ever smelled or purchased. Well, I'm real big on sampling, so I haven't really purchased anything too terrible. But as far as samples, Elizabeth Arden Beautiful was probably, it just smelled like, no, it was so indolic. It was so, maybe I got a bad sample too. So let me know if you're like, you're crazy, girl. Like, no, it is beautiful. But, oh, anyway, I could not do that. And there's a really popular one that everyone seems to love, 7 Virtues, Vanilla Woods. It is not my vibe. It is not my jam. I cannot do that one. Now, I've smelled it on someone else, and I said, oh, you smell pretty. What is it? And they said, oh, it's Vanilla Woods. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't like that one, but on you, it's lovely. But all I get out of it on my skin is molasses, and I have a strong aversion to molasses. I think molasses smells like sulfur. I'm just almost gagging thinking about molasses. I like it in ginger snaps and cookies, and you bake something with molasses, I will never know the difference. But molasses itself and like pouring it out of I can't. It is like also like old fruit cake with a bunch of raisins and like the big gobby raisins that are gross, and like fruit cake dark with like a kind of a burnt molasses frosting. That's what that smells like to me. Sorry. I mean, and I have smelled it on someone else and I liked it, so don't be too offended, but that's the worst for me. That is the worst. Do you like blind buying? Why or why not? I do like blind buying because I do like reading about a fragrance and reading like hundreds of reviews if need be, and like determining by what they say whether I'm like, okay, so they're saying like, ooh, it's gross, it's soapy. I'm like, oh, but I like that, so maybe that will work for me. And then comparing other reviews, and like reviews are so varied. You never, like, sometimes you really can't tell because everyone has such different opinions on perfume, so it is hard to tell. So do I like blind buying? Yes and no, but mostly yes. Okay, I love this next question. What are your top 5 favorite notes? And then what are your least liked notes? Okay, so my top notes are musk And I included ambrette because I'm not sure if ambrette is a type of musk, but anything musky I love, just like Carmen. Just kidding. But I love woods, like especially just generic white woods. Sandalwood is kind of iffy for me, and I mean, I like cedar and different woods like that are specific, but if there is a note, and there is a note in a lot of perfumes that is just a generic white woods, and I love that note. So I like things that are musky, woody. Number 3 is salt or ambergris, anything salty. Just adds such an interesting, like edgy vibe to a perfume that I love. And then I would say amber, but not amber when it's done with like spices and heavy vanilla, but amber itself. Like I really love ambery fragrances. And number 5, I couldn't decide whether to put like vanilla, caramel, something like that, or whether to go with tropical florals because I love those too. You know, I'm just gonna go with vanilla. So that's my top 5. Musk, woods, salt, amber, and vanilla. If there was a perfume with just that combination, that'd be beautiful. Maybe there is. Okay, so I really like blazers. I love leather jackets. I love jean jackets. I like khaki army style jackets. But I'm so hot. I'm gonna have to strip off here. Okay, so for my least favorite notes, my least favorite note is cloves. I do not like cloves, and that kind of includes cinnamon and that type of spices, but there are perfumes that have cinnamon in them, and even cloves probably, that are so well blended that I don't really notice it. And I can like it in a perfume, but in general, if there was a clove heavy perfume or a cinnamon heavy perfume, it's a no for me. Next is incense or smoke, anything smoky, incensey, especially in the dry down. It's this annoying feeling of like, is something burning? Is something on fire? Like, and it just like, it hurts my nose. So incense, smoke is a no. I do not like lavender at all. I don't even like the essential oil lavender. I don't like, now I say I don't like perfumes with lavender, but some perfumes that I really love do have a note of lavender. It's just that they're done really well and it's incorporated and it's balanced out in such a way that any qualities I don't like in lavender are kind of like cut or masked or, I don't know, changed so that I do like it. But in general, just lavender, especially lavender essential oil, I don't like it at all. And there's a lot of herbal notes as well, along with lavender, that I really don't like. I'm not an herbal girl. That leads me to my 4th least favorite note would be tea. Do I have fragrances with tea that I love? Yes, but as a note, if there was a perfume that was just tea, no. Too herbal, bitter, no, I don't like tea. I drink tea. I have a whole tea cupboard. I love tea, but I don't want to smell tea. I don't want to smell like tea. And I put patchouli as my last least favorite note, and most perfumes have patchouli. It does extend the longevity of the perfume, and it does give a nice earthy quality. I do like a chocolatey patchouli. There are fragrances I like that have patchouli, but patchouli as a note, patchouli as an essential oil, which I did have a patchouli essential oil. I smelled it one day and I said, okay, I have to like try to describe, what does this smell like? And it smelled like if you grew a variety of lemons that were minty and they grew in the ground like potatoes. Now, that sounds weird, but it's like minty, lemony potatoes to me. That's what patchouli smells like. At least the variety of essential oil, like the variety that I had. If a perfume is heavy in patchouli, my husband picks it up right away and he says, you smell like potatoes. So that's another reason why I probably don't like it. However, I am learning to love it more, and there are a lot of perfumes that have it that I do love. So just because I have a least favorite note doesn't mean I don't necessarily like want anything to do with it for the rest of my life, except for cloves, maybe, I don't know. Okay, next question. If I could bring back one discontinued perfume. I wrote down Lancôme La Nuit Trésor Musc Diamant because I have just discovered that recently. It was a blind buy. I purchased it. It is climbing up to the top of my loves. I found out that it's an older one and it is no longer in production as far as I can tell. And I feel sad because I just discovered it and now I don't ever want to be without it. So I might have to get a backup bottle of it. I don't like to get backup bottles. I do have a few, but I have too much perfume, so but yeah, I would bring back La Nuit Trésor Musc Diamant. That would be my choice. Let me check Carmen's video here.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing
Hi, Carmen.
perfume beauty
She's so funny. I love her. Okay, just a second. Let me get the questions right here. Her next question was, do you have a signature scent? Well, not really, because I wear a bunch of different perfumes, but if there was one scent that I would want to be known by, it would be Crystal Noir right now. These days, Crystal Noir is like, oh, this is just how I want to smell. This is who I want to be. This is like, I want to be Crystal Noir. So right now, that would be a signature scent if I had to choose one, and that could change next week. We're not sure. But right now, that's the answer to the question. And the last question, what perfume is best on the opposite sex? So I'll just go with perfumes, or actually my husband likes it when I call it cologne instead of perfume. But I'll just go with what I love on my husband. If I could choose, I would have him wear CKB all the time. I love it on him. And Versace blue jeans. Love that on him. I ask him to wear that all the time. And there is one that we got in Jamaica a few years ago. It's called F16 by Heaven Scents. And it is unfindable. It's unfindable online. It's unfindable anywhere. I've even asked a lady that, I think her name is Tony Alex, and she watches my channel, and she's from Jamaica, and I've asked her, like, have you ever heard tell F16 there in Jamaica? Please tell me, have you? She hadn't. So anyways, it's one that makes me go weak in the knees. My eyes roll back in my head. Like, he wears that on date night. It's amazing. You know, what it kind of smells like is like a male version of white musk, really is what it kind of is, what it is. It does a little bit remind me of myrrh. Myrrh is my favorite essential oil. So it kind of has that like deep, sexy vibe to it with the white musk. It's, oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm gonna grab the bottle and show it to you. Just in case anyone out there in YouTube world has heard of it and could let me know, like, is there anywhere I could get another bottle, because there's like this much left and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, it's irreplaceable. It's irreplaceable. So thanks again, Carmen, for tagging me in this video. It was so much fun. If anyone ever wants to tag me in this type of video, I love it. I love like answering questions about myself and perfume. Well, about perfume, but like everyone likes talking about themselves, don't they? Or am I an egomaniac? I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and go watch Carmen's channel. I'll tag her in the description box or on the screen somewhere. Go check her out, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to hearing like everyone else's answers to these questions. It's fascinating. Anyways, I almost said I love you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, so here is F16. You can see how much there's left. I'm not even gonna spray it because it's just too, I can't spray it. I don't want to waste it. I can't believe I don't have the box. I saved the box for years because, I mean, this was back in 2015 that we got it. So anyways, I actually smelled it on like one of the groundskeepers that used to like rake up the beach. We would chat all the time. I had just lost my daughter and I was talking to him about that, and he told me about his new baby that they had, and like a couple days before we were gonna leave, I gave him a hug, didn't know if I'd see him again. I smelled him, I'm like, what is that scent? I'm like, can you get that for us? So we gave him some money, we gave him an good extra tip, and he got us a bottle and brought it to the resort, and I was like, thank you so much. Anyways, I would say this is my favorite scent on the opposite sex, but you can't find it. You can't find it. If you can, let me know, please.